The big question on everyone's mind right now is when are we going to see the second stimulus check and when will the Senate pass the next stimulus package? Are we going to see something passed before November? People are being so skeptical and losing hope about the next stimulus package right now. In fact, we are all tired of hearing the stimulus talks. We just want to see the stimulus checks in our bank account. But just pay attention. In today's update, we're going to go through where things currently stand with the second stimulus check and the next stimulus package. And we'll be talking about the possible dates of seeing the Senate pass something before November. So chances are that we could still get this stimulus checks or the next stimulus bill could be passed before November election. So hang on tight and watch this video till the end. Before we jump into the details on the second stimulus check date, let's quickly talk about the economy needing another stimulus package. So right now, there's so many indications that we do need another stimulus, and this latest report from Market Watch is one that highlights the need for another stimulus. So this says yes, the US economy really does need more fiscal stimulus, and the stock market knows it. If you've been following the stock market, you've seen some highs, and recently you've seen some shakeup in the stock market. But right now, we do have 12.6 million people who are unemployed, and some top US economists are calling for another stimulus package. So when economists around the country are calling for more stimulus, you know something is really needed before November, at least in no time. So here's what Mr. Bell, one of the economists, is saying. So he said there are 12.6 million people still receiving unemployment benefits. That's why we need more stimulus from the government by the end of the year. The consumer can chug along and withstand the next couple of months, but 12.6 million Americans are going to need more than the typical unemployment benefit to weather the storm. So 12.6 million Americans are going to need more than the typical unemployment benefits to weather the storm. So these 12.6 million Americans being referred here are the unemployed workers who just filed for, or who people who are filing for unemployment benefits right now. And as we know, the federal government is offering $300 per week in unemployment benefits, which basically is set to expire anytime soon because the funds from FEMA are basically not going to carry us through the end of the year. And these people, according to what this economist is saying, are going to need more than the typical unemployment benefit, which is basically the unemployment insurance that the states offer the unemployed workers. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Do you think something needs to happen as soon as possible before the election, or do you see something happening before the election? There's so much cause right now for the government to act. So here's what another economist said according to this report from Market Watch. So this economist says the Fed can only affect the economy that's working and open. They can't do anything about the airlines, the restaurants, the hotels. They are doing twice as much as they normally would have because they can only be half as effective. As long as that dynamic is still in play, the short-term loss of fiscal initiative doesn't mean a lot. As time goes on, though the virus controls everything, things will stall because the economy isn't working 100%, and if the federal government doesn't send out income support, it will pull growth lower. So I want you to pay attention to the very last sentence here. It says, and if the government doesn't send out income support, it will pull growth lower. So this is talking about the economic growth. So some economists, this is the second economist in this report, calling for more stimulus from the government, saying that if the federal government doesn't send out more income support, we're going to see the growth of the economy decline. And that's something that we don't want to see. In fact, a recent report from Fox Business just showed that United Airlines and other airline unions are calling for 6 months of extension of federal aid, and they are also asking for the stimulus negotiations to be restarted. This is something that really points to the need for more stimulus in no time. So right now we're seeing the airline companies that have been given the first bailout We've seen them ask for another $25 billion in bailout. And again, let me know your thoughts about that. Do you think the airline company should be giving $25 billion in bailout, or do you think the money for the people, the second stimulus checks, should be sent out first? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But the shocking thing about this report came from the CEO of United. So here's what the CEO of United Airlines said. He said, without additional funding for the PSP grants, up to 16,000 members of the United family are at risk of involuntary furloughs beginning October 1st. So October 1, which is basically 9 days from today, we're possibly going to see 16,000 United Airlines employees getting furloughed. And this is something we don't want to see, because right now the stimulus talks, or the stimulus agreement, is very critical to preventing this from happening. Okay, let's quickly dive into what you've been waiting for, which is when we're going to see the second stimulus check or the next stimulus bill pass in the Senate. So if you've been following these updates, you already know that the Senate is scheduled to take a break before the election. So the next recess for the Senate begins on October 9th. But that doesn't mean that that's the final day a bill could pass, according to this report from CNET. And then the House, for example, is prepared to postpone the start of its next break. We've seen House Speaker Nancy Pelosi basically say that the House could postpone the recess in October. So the House is supposed to be taking a recess, a break, before the election, and that break was scheduled for October 2nd. But right now, that will not hold, because we've seen the Speaker asking for, hey, the House members to stay until a stimulus agreement is in the books. So right now, here's the deal: the possible timelines for when a stimulus bill could pass. So if we say, according to this report, if something gets passed in the Senate on September 30th, which is the last day of this month, 9 days from today, we could see the House vote to pass something on October 1st. And then the president signs the bill in October, which is October 2nd. And then if the Senate votes on October 9th, basically the next week from then, we could see something pass in the House on October 12th, and then the president signing on October 13th. And we could also have another option to where the Senate passes the stimulus bill vote on October 16th, and then the House passes the next stimulus on October 19th. Then the president signs on October 20th. We could still see something happen before November. Now, the last option we have on here, according to this detail from CNET, we could see something pass on October 23rd in the Senate. So if a stimulus bill passes on October 23rd in the Senate, the House could pass it on October 26th, and then the president signs on October 27th. And that is the very last period, the very last timeline, possible dates we could see the stimulus bill being passed and signed by the president. Again, let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. While we wait for Congress to finalize the next stimulus package, you may have to pick up a side hustle or side gig to get some cash or make some extra money from home. Be sure to check out the video on the left to discover the one-of-a-kind website that pays you hundreds to thousands of dollars to just read out loud. This is a free, simple, and exclusive side hustle, and in this video, you'll discover the step-by-step process to get started today. And if you want the best-kept secret to increase your credit score fast, check out the video on the right. Don't forget to help others find this video quicker by liking this video and sharing it. And also, be sure to subscribe now as we track the latest progress on the next stimulus package. See you in the next update. Be safe and thank you for watching.